What's up, guys? Your boy Vince Ryder, aka the Prince of Romance, and welcome back to more Vince Talk, where I talk about stuff that has happened in my life. Today, basically, we're gonna talk about just whatever it involves of gaming or animation, and maybe some other stuff going on outside of those topics, especially in the beginning of these different topics. Especially how I'm basically different facts that has happened to my channel and stuff that I wrote down, just notes and all that, and just some stuff that I just randomly put here. That's basically what I put in. I just want to give a quick housekeeping, or wait, house clean. That's what it's called. Yeah, house clean. Um, and I basically use that term, and it's from Kind of Funny Podcast that I basically chose that term, and it's just me just sharing like what's gonna happen at least in the future of this month, because I'm gonna be on vacation pretty soon. I'm going to basically in South LA and probably around Arizona and also around that area, because I just want to get out of town. I just really want to have a quick break and just get out the house, because I just been staying in the house, and it's just been just, at least for me personally, depressing. And because a lot of times I'm just like, what am I doing? Here I am trying, because especially like how I'm trying to really use the summer. Like, there's no better time than right now to actually go outside and to enjoy. And pretty much that's what I want to do. And it's since that things are a little bit more open out there, because I've been hearing things left and right that has been making me kind of like anxious about, the future of this year, because of the whole Delta variant thing, which I'm like, oh God, please tell me why. Like, it's something that I don't want to happen, but I just, the news and everything, it's just getting scary. Especially how it's getting scary here in this area, in the Bay Area, how, like, there's different stuff happening in the news that I've been discovering. Like, I heard something about, like, one of the sidewalks is slowly sinking, and the buildings are just slowly, I don't know what it is. I don't know why the sidewalk is sinking and stuff. Or it could be, either way, but that's just strange how, like, you would think that the buildings are sinking. No, it's the sidewalks, apparently. And that's kind of very concerning because I'm like, why? But yeah, that's what I heard around the Bay Area, especially in San Jose, in that area, that the sidewalks are sinking, and that's what's been going on in the news. Just type it up, sinking sidewalks, Bay Area. And also, there's been like a couple of wobbles here and there. So there's right now, here in California, we're going through an earthquake phase, and it's scary. It's like, I'm just like worried. Yes, at some point you kind of have to stop being worried. Right now I'm comfy because there hasn't been an earthquake, but there was, like, I think in the beginning of Monday, there was a shake. There was a rumble, because I heard there was like probably an earthquake around in Nevada, in Reno, Nevada, in that area, or somewhere around like probably Carson City. So around that area, there was an earthquake, I heard. And apparently, the aftermath has fell true around, and also went all the way here in the Bay Area. So, yeah, that's basically what I felt, and it's kind of terrifying, honestly. I don't know, but at least, like, especially how we don't get a lot of earthquakes. But there's been crazy predictions of just like, oh, there's gonna be a 8 magnitude earthquake. I'm like, no, no, don't say that. Don't say that now, okay? But yeah, it's been one of those days of worry, I guess. And I'm just like, let me enjoy this, let me enjoy this summer as I can, as we still have it, it's just for now. But yeah, pretty much, hopefully that this, especially how this Delta variant, hopefully doesn't come to effect, especially how the Olympics is literally in a few days as I'm recording this, because in a few days right now, the Olympics. And for those that didn't know, I used to have a skate series where I talk about skateboarding and my love for skateboarding, but also I talked about, different announcements. Especially I made a predictions video of me feeling like who is going to win the Olympics, especially how skateboarding is going to make their debut in the Olympics. So that's what I'm excited to see. And also just the other events and stuff like that, because I'm kind of curious how the Olympics will go through in that phase, and especially me wondering if Japan is reopening or something. I'm not sure how strict they are when it comes to the the safety protocols surrounding COVID. But yeah, let's just see what happens. Hopefully Tokyo 2021, because I was planning to actually go there, but for obvious reasons I couldn't. But hopefully next one is the one that I'm going, at least in my lifetime. I just want to go to at least one Olympics event, and that will be exciting, okay? And hopefully I become rich enough to actually go there in the next one. Who knows? But yeah. Also, I did talk about my vacation soon. Pretty much next week, well, not next week. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Yeah, next week. Next week I'm gonna be on vacation on Saturday. I'm gonna be out of town, so I'm gonna be uploading videos in the beginning of like Monday, or like I think is Monday tomorrow already. I don't know. I usually put these videos out on Sunday, so yeah, Monday tomorrow, and pretty much the rest of those days. But also, I'm gonna be visiting Stefan. We're gonna be doing something big of a podcast series. So that's gonna be coming up, because right now I have to figure out what topics to bring up when it comes to this podcast, because me and Stefan are not really top tier when it comes to making a podcast. I want to show him this, this video. At least for some reason I call it a trailer, but it's basically a montage of different reads and also music in the background, and it's in celebration of me hitting 1K. And to me, that's like uh, even though this is for those that have been with me for a very long time, this is my second time hitting 1K since my other channel got terminated, and now this channel is hitting 1K, and hopefully we reach the 10K and all that, and hopefully it never goes away. It's just crazy how I'm just getting 10 subs every day, knowing that this channel is growing faster than I can ever hold. Like, I'm just surprised that Webtoon hasn't really given me any sponsors or something like that. Like, I'm still waiting for that point that Webtoon acknowledges me of what I'm really doing, because like even though like there's other people that probably work hard, I just feel like I work hard. Okay, the work that I put in when it comes down to not only recording at least like hours of reads, but also editing them, which adds another hours, and also plus putting it on as me being a university student. Like, I put a lot of work, and I'm doing this all for free, and I'm just like really climbing to the top to actually get through the reads, and plus requested reads, and also following the rules of what Webtoon puts. Like, come on, like Webtoon needs to at one point give me a chance. Any sponsor is okay, but I really want a Webtoon sponsor. I just need to know if that ever becomes a reality, because it's just like, I just feel like personally for me, okay, and people can say what they want, but personally for me, the fact that and a lot might agree that my channel got terminated because of what Webtoon put in, like the copyrights claim and stuff like that, and I was one of the ones that actually suffered of that termination. And it would only make sense if I actually like get a sponsor, and actually at least knowing that Webtoon can actually keep me safe. I just want to know if my channel is not getting terminated a second time, because I cannot handle that. I don't know. It sucks. Let's be honest. Imagine making like the third channel after two of your channels got terminated. Like, when is the cycle gonna stop? Like, I don't, like, it's just a certain discussion that I just want to ask anybody with a brain to know if that's right or wrong. Anyways, but other than that, let's just chill and just relax and actually have a good time actually talking about stuff, because this is what this is about. This is VinzTalk, talking to you about good stuff, and starting off with the Gamecast. So pretty much there is a Switch Pro, or at least a Switch OLED, I heard. And yeah, I didn't really see any details about it, but I heard it exists, a Switch OLED. I don't know what it is. But speaking of, a Switch device, of a gaming device that is portable, there's also a SteamDeck, which is basically Switch and a PC had a baby. And yeah, it's basically called the Steam Deck. And has a screen. It basically has almost the same kind of designs that a Switch has, except it has like buttons behind it. It also has a different layout compared to the Switch, but you can almost tell that it's so inspired by the Switch. I mean, just look at it. But yeah, I'm just looking at this, I'm like, God, it would be so cool to have this, because for those that didn't know, my PC broke because of something. Like, I don't know why it broke, but I never had a good PC. Okay, I never had a good PC because I'm poor and I have to, basically a bunch of PCs that I own are just flat out cheap. But I always wanted a high end like computer, high end PC, a high end laptop, and usually most of the PCs I have are own that are basically laptops, and I just want. And when I look at the Steam Deck, I'm like, all the games, every single game that I can ever play on Steam, because there is just a bunch of games that I just can't play because of how many gigs and how powerful they are, and also it will break my PC, like what happened basically, a couple of weeks ago when my PC suffered of a game that is basically too big for it to handle, I think. I mean, it could be something else, but it's just that I want a PC that can definitely handle that can handle any game, just any game. And I'm looking at the Steam Deck. I'm like, this could be the answer. This could be the answer right here. I mean, there has been speculations of like many people reviewing this and being like, oh, should you get this or should you not? And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. I pretty much like I don't know when I'm gonna buy it, but I do want to, I sort of want to, because especially if I ever have the money or something like that, I do want to actually afford to buy, a Steam Deck or something like this. I just want something powerful to know that it's capable of any games that I can play. My phone is more powerful than any PC that I can ever own. Okay. And literally, I'm talking about my, especially the older phones. I remember that I downloaded something that had like 9 gigabytes of from iPhone 5, and I played that game and it worked fine. It didn't break the iPhone. I don't know. Apple probably has something in their phones that make them powerful, knowing that it can never be broken whatever game you play, or maybe because the Apple App Store is just morely trusted than Steam or any kind of PC. But I don't know. Maybe because I have a bad luck with PCs. I will never forget that I went to the Microsoft store, which I actually visited a couple weeks ago, and it's just gone. It was in San Francisco and Westfield. For those that ever knew what that is, if you type SF Westfield, pretty much one of the popular places was the Microsoft shop, which had a bunch of computers. It had different design. It had a bunch of Microsoft, items, basically. I call them items. I can't believe I said items. I don't know. I can't think of the word. But as I'm really thinking through this process of these memories, there was a PC section, and you can play computer games, and you can, you have to type your, password and stuff like that. And you have to have like you have to have, certain passwords to know that if you don't have any passwords of like the Microsoft store, the Xbox store, or or maybe Steam or Epic Game Store, then you can't play any games. But I wanted to actually check out one of the PCs, and the PCs were working fine. Other people playing with them, and I was waiting for my turn, and then I played one of the PCs, and all of them were empty. Like pretty much all of them basically escaped from me actually playing the PCs. I'm like, rude. But yeah, I just pretty much tried to play one of the PCs, but it keep breaking every single PC I touch, and I was playing simple games. Everyone over there was playing like Rocket League and Overwatch and some random shooting game. I think CS:GO maybe. But yeah, they were just playing games, and for some reason, okay, we're talking about me, when I try to play these PC games, they break. Like, because I happen to play with them, and I would go on to the next PC and it would break. It would literally froze on me, and I went on to the next PC. It does that again, and I'm just like, what is happening? I'm trying to ask like the owners of the shop, and I'm just like, the owners are the ones that are working there basically. I can't think of the right terms, but I try to ask them like, what's wrong with the PCs? I'm like, I'm not sure. And basically, the PC was working fine when they were using it, but when I came back to it, they broke. I'm like, okay, someone's playing a prank on me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's up, but for some reason, when it comes down to me, I don't know. Maybe God basically bestowed a curse on me of using computers, because for some reason I can never be trusted using computers when it comes down to gaming. When it comes to other stuff like studying, but when it comes down to gaming, I can never be trusted. I don't get it. Why is it I have such a bad luck when it comes to PC gaming? Maybe I don't belong in PC gaming. I don't understand. I would literally try to test out, okay, there has to be the most powerful PC out there, and let's see how long I'll last with it. Let's see if that challenge, and if it's below like 2 months, I wouldn't be surprised. My PC that I have that is new, that is already fixed right now, that it basically broke not even a year, and it was new, and it was not cheap. It was almost $1,000. I don't know. It's just some. It's just a little rants I'm just trying to have maybe, but yeah. What's up with me with PCs? I don't know. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, the Steam Deck, I'm definitely get it. I was looking at it. I was like, and I probably need to look at it more because I was basically, the other channels that I was following were actually reviewing it, and I actually want to see it for myself. Speaking of gaming itself, kind of funny, just want to announce it, that they had like Phil Spencer there. The head of Xbox was actually in. Kind of funny. I'm like, they are pretty big. I mean, not surprisingly, because kind of funny. It's like the head of like journalism, gaming journalism, and they just have like they had Phil Spencer there. So that was cool. And also Netflix gaming, I heard that's a thing that could be coming to the future. I mean, knowing that Netflix gaming, I'm thinking to myself, like, are they talking about like different gaming IPs inside Netflix? We've seen League of Legends in Netflix, and we also saw a couple of other projects in Netflix, like Final Fantasy had their own anime in Netflix, I heard. But yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But who knows? Netflix could be having their own like gaming stream or something. Like, are they going head to head with Steam? They're going head to head with Epic Games or the eStore? Like, I don't know. Like, it could be something in the future that I'm kind of curious to see. But yeah, this is the gaming cast, and that's all I want to talk about. And next up is basically me talking about different things going on in the animation world. So stuff that I just want to bring up. Also, I just want to say, like, I basically did a bunch of reads with a batch of new webtoons. And yeah, at this point, I just want to say this. This is just, a little comment that I want to say. It's nothing against any of these webtoons or anything. I love all of them, okay? But I just want to say, like, I am tired of reading Korean, like, I'm tired of reading manhwa. I'm tired of really having my tongue, my accent to challenge it, and basically tried my best to challenge myself to actually read Korean because it's a freaking impossible. I don't know how to say Xiongbae. I don't know how to say Tsuokboki. Okay? You think I know how to say these words? With this kind of like strange accent that I have, like I can't. I really can't. And the editing for these videos are atrocious. I really tried my hard to actually try to somewhat just, make it more simple. And I try to say the words perfectly in a way. And I know there's a bunch of words that I can't say right because I ain't no freaking spelling bee award-winning, athlete or whatever it's called. But it's like I just can never pronounce the words correctly. I still to this day, I can never say Hanasayo right. This, which is basically hi in Korean. Hanasayo. Did I say it right? I don't know. I don't even know how to say thank you. Gamsa? Is that how you say it? Gamsa? Yeah. Look, I tried. But if you know me, you know for a fact that, yes, even though I'm Asian, doesn't mean I can speak all Asian languages. You expect a Filipino to actually speak Korean? Like, come on. You you think those things go? I mean, I guess they're friendly countries together and they're close by, but at the same time they're like they're they're different. They're very distinct from each other. They're very distinct. Doesn't matter if they're Asian or not. Very distinct from each other, and it's especially very distinct when you have an American Filipino that is basically reading anything Korean. It's I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know. But from seeing other people's opinions, it seems like no one has an opinion of me actually reading Korean. I bet a lot of them even agree. Like, yeah, this is hard. You're really struggling yourself, and I am. I'm really hurting my tongue trying to say "tteokbokki gimbakism chumpaka." Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Maybe I wish there was a part of me where I actually experienced Korea and I know it is. I know for a fact that I even had plans to one day go there, in the future. But the thing is that how? Like, I don't know. I don't have the money or anything. I don't know if my family is ever interested to actually go there. I'm more interested to go to Europe. But it's like, and also when it comes down to different webtoon reads, one of my favorites is the ones that are basically based in, like yeah, not only like, different manhwas and stuff, but I like ones that are based in Europe. I love the Victorian age kind of style. If you know me, I do love that aesthetic. Or maybe the city kind of like southern western style, in a way, or something that is based in like Atlantis or something, or even in Africa. But when it comes down to Korea, it's something that I just never thought I would actually read, okay? If anything, reading Japanese, due to how hard it is for me to ever read it, is kind of easier. But when it comes to reading Korean, I just struggle. I struggle so hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm oversaturating or something. But yeah, with all these new series, it just all happens to be set in Korea. And I'm just like, when do we get one that is not in Korea? Can you just give us a chance? Like, it's all Korea. Oh my god. Just every single time they put out a new batch of reads, I'm just like, does it always have to be sent to Korea? And if you know me, I feel like I said that again so many times. If you know me, I'm always the person when it comes. I strive for diversity in web, in not just webtoon, but in different, like, at manga slash animation of comics. I always strive for diversity. I do want to see a webtoon romance set in Brazil. I do want to see a webtoon set in Africa, or in Jamaica, and also not only like the Black nations that I truly, really one day want to see, and hopefully it comes true, but also set in Latin America, set in Canada, even set in like Sweden, or probably in like, Indonesia. Just there's so many places out there, but it always has to be in Korea. And I understand webtoon is a Korean, like, in Korean company, I believe, because it was born from Korea. I believe, Naver Webtoon, yeah, from Korea. And yes, I know for a fact that Webtoon had did a great job of actually putting out different diverse Webtoons. I seen one from, like, not that's not only in Korea. It just so happens that the new ones are just for some reason set in Korea. And it's just getting tiring. It's like, can we, like, it's almost like beginning to be the same thing, and I really hope they strive for different things. Inclusiveness, a sense of, and that's what it's really trendy nowadays. If you look at anything that is out there, especially with Disney, for a fact they've been very inclusive in certain countries, like, that should be accepted when it comes down to different animations. Webtoon should do the same thing, and I know they're big enough to actually do it. I know there's many people that has been asking for it, but hopefully it becomes something in the future, and that's really something I want to see. That's just a little, I wouldn't say rant, but something that I just really want to get off my chest. Other than that, I have been watching other things surrounding Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, which is actually a couple, like, topics ago, I think. But Sweet Tooth. I've been watching a little bit of Sweet Tooth, and it's pretty good. I really like how, and I don't know about how it's really set in, like, for some reason, Sweet Tooth, like, if I was watching this during 2020, it would be like, how am I handling this very properly? How am I handling this in a way where I barely could handle? Like, I swear, like, it's literally 2020, the show, basically, except raised an extreme level, which I'm just like, oh my god, that's life there. And also Space Jam. I wanted to actually watch Space Jam. I haven't really had a chance to ever find a chance to. I can't speak. Look, I just haven't watched it, okay? I haven't made time because I've been busy. I've actually getting enough content done, and also been actually setting up myself for actually going on this vacation trip that I'm going to be with my cousins. But yeah, Space Jam is just on the list of, my reviews, and hopefully I can put that maybe next week, or I mean next weekend, because usually I put videos next weekend. I really should set up my intro video somehow, because it's starting to get to that point where it's starting to delay, because I'm kind of like, how am I supposed to, because there's so many things to cover and so many rules that I need to really be specific of when it comes down to making an intro video, because literally I'm talking about a video that is the first thing that you see before you watch my videos. Like, for example, letting you know that I am crap at reading, even though many times I actually been processing and progressing myself with reading, but still I'm not the best. I wouldn't say I am. or stuff like, hey, don't do this in the comments or something, like be respectful, stuff like that. I probably should make that in the future, or maybe next weekend, of course. And yeah, I did review Ladybug Rocketeer, and I actually did this time I did a very short interview, or I mean, not interview, short review. I did a short review of Rocketeer. Usually when it comes down to my reviews of Ladybug Miraculous, I never do short reviews. I never do a review the same way I do it with the Netflix shows or the movies, I mean, or a movie in general, where it's basically just me just freestyling it. This review of me doing Ladybug Rocketeer, which is a video you can watch that I just put out like yesterday, last night, is basically just me really freestyling it and just like trying to remember what happened in the episode and giving you my thoughts about it. And it wasn't easy. I feel like I kind of miss so many things, surrounding it. But overall, I feel like I did a good job. It just wasn't perfect. And then again, I had to remind myself, like, a lot of people are not watching my Miraculous reviews, but at the same time, I do actually still want to talk about it because there's many predictions that I want to see. And it's one of the shows that I'm just excited that is coming. And also it fits within my demographic. So yeah, that's just what I want to put out there. And also another thing I just want to mention, shout out to Pookie Senpai. I don't know what it is. I feel like at some point, because I'm like, this is just came to my mind when I said the word interview by mistake, that interviewing her and also interviewing any webtoon artist or anybody, or even like you guys that are subscribed to my channel, would be a dream, that I want to do. I don't know how am I gonna really really pursuing it, or how am I going to go by it? Because one thing I really want to do is actually get a sponsor first and then interview. But I also want to practice interviewing other people, which is like, my subs and you guys, but also my cousins, and also at least a few of my friends that, are subscribed, or at least anyone that is watching the channel. I do want to actually make that something in the future that I just want to set up, and it could be something that is something that could be a success and people really do want to see. And maybe when I do, because I still have like social anxiety and stuff, and it's still a challenge, and I know a lot of people have those problems, but and especially me being a perfectionist, or somewhat a perfectionist, I don't really expect VinzTalk to be somewhat perfect, especially how I've been going on and off with me talking about certain topics. It ain't perfect, but I really try to actually somewhat make it perfect. And I do want to, it's something that I'm planning to do when I do get like at least more subs, to actually one day, interview, because I saw Pookie Senpai in a channel where it's like what, 77 subs. I mean, big ups to them, but wow, small channel, but they have her as a guest in there. I'm guessing that she's friends with them, but I'm like, wait, 77 subs like that? Like, I'm trying to think, like, what was the context? What was the history of this? But then again, like, I've probably seen other, like, bigger, like, channels, because Pookie Senpai has, like, 100,000, I think, or more than that in her, like, YouTube channel. I wonder if I can ask her for a review, because, of course, like, I've been really reading, like, Down to Earth nonstop. Okay, that's one of my nonstop series that I've been putting. So many to the point where I can't even make a playlist. It's just so many Down to Earth series that I've been making. But it's just one of those ideas, and it's just one of those like in my. I wonder if I can actually make that happen. It's in my mind. It's in my mind to like one day interview webtoon creators, webtoon content creators somewhere surrounding that space, because it's something that I really want to do someday. But I actually want to do it like face to face, like, when conventions come back, which they do come back. I heard Anime Matsuri came back, question mark. Something's happened there. I don't know. I heard Vic was there, which was dope. Shout out to Vic. But yeah, Anime Matsuri, and also other anime conventions, and yes, they're back, and I don't know why I'm saying that, but if conventions come more back normally normal, or if like, someone pays me to actually go to a convention, then, doing interviews with some of these, different creators or anyone outside, especially in anime, would be something that I'm planning to do. I don't know. That's just something in the future. Again, predictions. And that thing you guys watching was subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. Hope you enjoy. Remember, vacation next of the, well, actually not next weekend, but after that weekend, boom, vacation time. Okay, so I don't know how videos are going to be processed, but it's definitely coming. But you would definitely expect some videos for this weekend. Probably not a lot, and also maybe a podcast with my boy Stefan, because that's how we do, and that's how I do. It's your boy, the Prince of Romance. Thank you guys so much for 1K. Thank you guys for all the support. I seen the comments. I seen you guys supporting out there, and I appreciate you so much. Much love. One peace.